Hi, my name is Eric Hamilton. This is my 67 Cougar, and I'm going to show you how my electronic actuated headlights work. The whole setup cost me about $350. The pros to this setup is that you delete all vacuum to the headlights, you get rid of the bumpers, you get rid of the springs, you get rid of any vacuum association whatsoever, tanks, lines, cleans up a lot of engine bay space, and if you're not worried about being correct for a car show, a really nice one I suppose, it's a very simple, cheap setup. The cons of this would be, obviously it's not original. You've got to make two brackets and you've got to cut holes in the headlight assemblies at the very bottom where your vacuum actuator used to sit. You just cut a hole there, get rid of that mounting space, and you have a hole set up where your actuator could sit in there. And then the bracket, which I'll provide dimensions for, is just a simple U-shaped bracket made out of steel, painted black, whatever, and it just bolts to the bottom of the headlight assembly, and then your actuator bolts to it, and then you have a bolt coming up that goes to your door. That simple. Before I go any further, I'm going to show you how the lights work. That way you can decide whether you want to watch the rest of this. As you can see, unlike some other actuators, these are really slow, really controlled, but they're very powerful. These actuators are made to push or pull up to 110 pounds each. So if you had your hands in the way, you're going to either crush your hand or break the light. And if you're in an ice storm or whatever, this obviously would be a problem. I don't know why you'd be driving your Cougar in an ice storm. Anyways, we'll continue with how this is bolted up. Okay, this is the passenger side. There you can see the actuator coming up right here. This is it, and there's the bottom of it. There's your actual motor. This is the extension, and I got my wires set up all factory, except my wires from the actuator come out the bottom and they tie in to my loom right there. This is just a simple little clevis pin setup. I can pull this, pull my pin out. These actuators go out to 4 inches total, so you'll have to program them to where you want them to start and stop. I set my brackets up to where the actuator's fully closed. That means this door will be completely open. When it actuates out roughly 3 inches, the doors will be closed, which is where they're at now. Now, the beauty of these actuators is every car is different. As you know, this is old pot metal, as most Cougars are. The headlight doors are all crooked. They don't line up right. Well, those actuators will help fix that, because it will keep them from either being closed too far or not closed enough. You get to control where they stop. So that's another benefit of this setup. And then on this side here, you can see right here there's a bolt, and there's one on the other side. You can't see it very well. That's where you bolt your actuator on. Say you need to take your headlight assembly apart, you need to take the actuator off. You do not have to undo this whole assembly and yank it off the car. All you do is take those two bolts off, this pin, and the whole setup, the actuator and the bracket, will fall out the bottom along the back of the valance, and you can take it off the car without removing anything else. Now I'm going to go inside of the car. Here's where I mounted my little toggle switch. It's very small. It's right here. It's a little bump switch. All I do is, and you can hear them closing, or actually they'd be opening. I push it and they open again. And then my actual headlight switch is right there, which it normally would be, and that's to turn the lights on or off. Some people might find this unattractive. If you'd like to revise it, go for it. Now with these headlight actuators, you have to have a memory box that tells you that tells you the cycle of the open and close. I mounted mine right here. There it is. I don't have my glove box in yet so you can see it. You can mount it wherever you want. I feel like it should be in a waterproof area. And I got my wires ran up under the dash, obviously out through the firewall. I feel like that might be a little unattractive to some people, having to have that little box on your car somewhere. But I think you really save yourself a lot of money because you're not having to replace vacuum lines, the tank, the big tank that goes up under this fender. You don't have to have your actuators rebuilt for what, $100 or whatever a piece. And I'm not downing that, because if you want an original car, it's what you need to do. But if you're poor like me and you've been wasting your money on other more important things, this is a good idea. And I would like to thank my dad for inspiring me to do this and helping me build the brackets. And I'd like to thank my good friend Paul for helping me wire this mess, because I could barely wire a stereo. So having him help me program these was very convenient. Again, it was $350 total. The actuators are $110 a piece. You can find them at TRossenrobotics.com. I'll type it under this video. And the dual actuator programmer was another $50, and that's what you just saw up under the dash. And then an extended wire harness was another $20 or something. So it's fairly simple. And those actuators are meant for factory assembly lines, farm equipment. They are water resistant and dust proof. They told me that a car is a friendly place for them. They actually can be used, on doors, trunks, whatever. So you can do anything you want with them, I suppose. Anyways, that concludes this. I'm going to show you one more time how they open and close. And you listen, you can hear them make the noise. And I think it's pretty sweet.